Now we got Grand Mason background, right? Now, the place is under P&I, Place Network Investigation. Now, Adam 22 say he don't know nothing about Wack being suspect number 4. You know, that's his homie. Got to protect him. Wack is working. He know Wack working. You think them feds ain't come see Adam and let it be known what it is? It's a serious investigation right here. Yeah, you think they ain't let him know? This is why Wack was so proud to say, I'm going to send my lawyer down there. Wack know his homies went down there to holler at him. He knew that. Wack on the internet trolling. Yeah, I'm going to send my lawyer to see this person, and he going to be there to get Adam out. No, that's because Wack knew that his homies, his partners, he knew his partners was going to go see Adam. The boy put the work in for the investigation. So, of course, he's been dialed in. They didn't inform the Wack. Yeah, we going to go talk to Adam. You got to understand this, right? Wack has a personal relationship with them folks. Like, I'm talking about, when I say personal, right? I'm talking about they like this. It's what people got to understand, you know. And this is coming from a guy that come from the streets and denounce the streets, telling you. And I know this shit with the streets like the back of my hand. I ain't got to know gang politics to know how the police work. I'm going to tell you that right now. I want people to understand that, right? You know, it's niggas that, oh, you don't know gang politics and the gang this. Yeah, you know gang politics. I don't care about gang politics. I'm telling you how the police operate. That's all. You can be focused on all the gang politics and on the dead homies, on the set. That's up to you to focus on that shit. That's something you got to deal with in your neighborhood. I'm telling you how the police work. I'm telling you how the rallies. I'm telling you how them people. I'm telling you how the Elroys work. That's what I'm doing. I ain't here to tell you about how the gang members operate, because I don't give a fuck. And I'm just keeping it a buck. I don't care. I'm telling you how them people operate, what's going on, and why Main Man is rocking with him. That's all. Now, you can believe it if you want, right? You can look for a gang member to tell you this shit. They can't tell you this, because then they go outside the gang code. They can't talk like this. Gang members can't talk like this on the internet. They go outside the code. Yo, man, you doing too much, man. Oh, don't talk about us like that. Let us keep lying to ourselves so that we believe something that ain't real. Let us keep lying and making our own self think that we good in the hood and the police ain't worried about us. We ain't committed crime. You already labeled as a criminal. You labeled already. You locked in. And that's a fact. If you haven't already smashed that like button, hit that like button, man. Subscribe to the channel. Shout out to all y'all, man. Your boy DZ be rocking with y'all, man. Appreciate y'all. Let's talk about this one. Grand Mason background. Grand Mason is the host of the No Jumper podcast. The podcast focuses on interviews with underground, mainstream hip-hop artists and pop culture-orientated guests of different careers and backgrounds. Grand Mason has hosted numerous admitted Blood and Crip, to include subset gang members on his show, some of which have become violent against Grand Mason or other people present at the podcast studio during interviews. You understand that this is in the database, right? This is what's in LA and the Feds database about No Jumper. That right there that I just read is in the database about No Jumper. And I want somebody, I want y'all to all understand this, right? That Adam 22 has a copy of this right here. And I'm just keeping it a buck, right? Because there's a lawsuit against Adam. There's a lawsuit against Adam. We know this, right? There's a lawsuit against Adam. And Adam had to get a copy of this from his lawyer. His lawyer got the copies of this. This is the police report. They suing Adam. So Adam's lawyer has to forward him every document of what's going on inside his proceeding. He has to know all the details. So Adam has this paper. So we definitely know for a fact that Adam has the copy and understands that Wack 100 is suspect number 4. Yeah, he has this. Yeah, straight up. Just keep it in the box, right? Now, Grand Mason and Jones host another podcast together called The Adam and Wack Show, which appears to be associated with the No Jumper podcast. On this podcast, the two discuss current event topics pertaining to the people in the entertainment industry. They know what's going on. They know the details, man. Them people watch No Jumper every episode, every clip. They watch all of it. They locked in. Just keeping it a buck. We all know what it is. Straight up. Smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. Victim statement continued. Reed stated that he has known Jones and Williams for approximately 3 months and has been working on a network deal to get them and Grand Mason their own show called The Exposers. Y'all hear Wack all the time. Hit the Exposers. That's what the boy talk about all the time, right? This is in the police report. This is the boy say. Exposers. Huh? This all he talk about. Y'all know it. I know it. The boy say exposers. So the police got inside the report of y'all trying to get with Dash Network to get a show with Adam. The whole play was to run a game on Adam. And I'm just keeping it a buck. Adam can take it how he want to take it. The whole play was to run the game and manipulate Adam. It's what Wack do. It was to manipulate that. We ain't heard nothing about Dash Network since Wack wanted to explain about Dash Network. And we're going to go over that in a few, right? We're going to get to that. We ain't heard nothing about Dash Network. Dash Network fell off the face of the earth. It's over. You ain't heard him mention that one time. Just keeping it a buck. If you haven't already smashed that like button and you just came in the building, make sure you hit that like button and share this live, man. Shout out to all y'all that be rocking with the channel, man. Share the live. Shout out to all y'all. Just keeping it a buck. The show called The Exposers on a platform called Dash Network that Reed is associated with. The Dash Network is a new streaming platform that launched in January 2023 that claims to display an array of talent, right? Array of talented stars created on a web and provides the popular digital content and an innovative business model that caters to its audience. Reed went to the location for the meeting and was not there to be on No Jumper podcast. Now, we hear Wack talking about he about to launch another network. This network was supposed to be launched too now. This network was supposed to be launched in 2024, right? Dash Network was supposed to be launched, right? They were supposed to have all of these followers, subscribers, paid members, all this shit. The same exact shit that Wicked 100 went on No Jumper and told Adam about the business that he couldn't explain where the money was coming from. Same shit. He was explaining to Adam that the money coming from here and I don't know, and all I know is I get a wire. Same shit. Supposed to start a network, right? You know, he got these networks that he talking about that he involved with that he supposed to be starting. It's the same shit. Dash Network. We gonna see. I'm just saying. I really think that them people be getting this bull to pump these networks. You know, we know that the Raleighs is heavy. Straight up. Just keeping it a buck. We already know that the Raleighs are heavy. And they can make any noise that they want. They can make anything look like they want. They can make noise like they want. They can say what they want. We know this, right? So when I'm hearing Wack saying these companies that he's talking about, I think it's the Raleighs. I ain't even gonna lie. I think it's them head busters. They putting it together to make it look like something. And I'm just keeping it a buck. I think they putting this shit together to make it look like something, you know, because everything Wack come with, this shit be fufafi. Yeah. Wack is out here creating a picture that look fake to me. When I see it, it look fake to me. Smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. Just keeping it a buck. Reed arrived at the location with his friend, Marciano, at approximately 1900 hours. He was outside of the building in the breezeway for approximately 2 to 3 minutes before entering the studio. Upon entering the studio, Reed noticed the podcast came to an end and people inside, to include Jones and Williams, were walking back out the breezeway. Reed noticed about 15 people exit the building into the breezeway and exited as well. Once he was outside, Reed began speaking with Jones. We know who Jones is, Wicked 100. And Williams, we know who that is, Loose Cannon. Briefly about the Dash Network. As Jones showed Reed something on his phone, Williams suddenly struck Reed straight onto the bridge of his nose. The force of the strike caused Reed to fall to the ground, landing on his back. At this point, Reed was lost consciousness. For an unknown amount of time, it continued in and out of consciousness throughout the duration of the incident. At some point, Reed saw that Williams had a strap, which he thought he saw Williams retrieve from the front pocket of his hooded sweater. He described the firearm as a pistol and believed it was possibly silver in color. However, he was unsure of the exact color as he had trouble recollecting certain details due to his loss of consciousness. Y'all see what's going on here, right? Reed mentioned that he remembered being struck and kicked across his entire body by Williams and multiple other suspects, and even recalled being pistol whipped, struck with a strap in the face by Williams several times. Reed did not know who the other suspects were or how many times each person struck or kicked him, and only recognized Williams and Jones. Y'all see what's going on here, right? Suspect number 4 and suspect 1 was identified, right? I'm just keeping it a buck. Let's just keep it a buck now. You hear me? Reed sustained multiple lacerations to the nose, head, neck, and face, and he mentioned that had bruised, swelling, redness, and suffered from severe headaches and loss of vision following an incident on December 29, 2024. Reed went to Martin Luther King Hospital for treatment. The hospital discharged paperwork. Reed and head trauma and laceration to his face, but would need advanced imaging, which they did not have at the hospital. Further assessments. Reed provided a copy of the police of the report, which took pictures of and uploaded to the evidence. During the incident, Williams and the other suspects removed the following items from Reed's person: robbed, stripped, pistol whipped. Left wrist, 1 gold Michael Kors watch with diamond bezel, worth $700. We know that that is the watch that Wicked 100 brought back to No Jumper and bragged about, that he put the APB out on. Y'all remember this? See, I put the APB out on this, man. Yeah, I wanted to know who had it. Put the APB out. That's what the boy said. This is what Wicked 100 said now. I put the APB out. Y'all know that is them people's terminology for all points bullets. Listen. Hey. This is what he said. He put the APB out. All points bulletin. Huh? That don't sound funny? I'm just keeping it a buck. Neck. 1 gold chain necklace worth $4,500. 1 pair of diamond earrings worth a Band-Aid. You hear me? 1 black Louis Vuitton satchel worth a nickel pickle. You hear me? $1,200 of U.S. currency. Huh? $1,200. 1 brown wallet worth 50 ball, containing a Bank of America credit card and a Credit One card, both in Reed's name. Just keeping it a buck. 1 black Apple iPhone 14 Pro Max worth $1,200. We know they took their phones. They wanted to take them phones. Straight up. Suspect description: Williams. Reed described Williams as a black male, approximately 6 foot tall, 200 pounds. Reed could not recall the clothing Williams was wearing at the time of the incident, but described him as bald. Reed stated he would recognize Williams and Jones. He would recognize William and Jones. Just keeping it a buck now. Y'all hear? If he were to see them again. However, he would not be able to recognize the other suspects due to his loss of consciousness and how fast the incident occurred. Reed stated he was serious of prosecution against Williams. If he was to be located and was the serious of prosecution against others involved suspects, if they were to be identified and located. Reed stated that friend that went to the location with him, Marciano, was also assaulted during the same incident. However, he did not want to file a police report. Reed did not know Marciano's condition after the incident, did not have contact information for him, and did not know his last name or any other information about him except for the fact that he is approximately 60 years old. Well, we know, right? We all know Marciano robbed, pistol whipped, stripped, beat, paralyzed on one side of the body. Paralyzed on one side of the body. Don't want to live no more, right? Wack bragged about this. Marciano don't really want to really live. Pissed. Then changed this man's whole entire life. You go from being mobile to having seizures and things going on, and your whole entire life changed. And you got Wack 100 bragging every week. I'm just keeping it a buck. You got Wack bragging every week now. Just keeping it a buck. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate that super chat, Mike. Third shift, DZ. Enjoy the content. Never ease up, boss. Facts. Appreciate that. I'm just keeping it a buck. Y'all know how I'm rocking. This the paperwork. They like to read the work. This the work. What you want me to do? This the work. Huh? Suspect number 4 in the work. But he ain't talking about, you worried about everybody else's work. All you talk about is work, right? What's going on? This just went away? This don't exist no more? This over? I'm just saying, is this over? Straight up. Shout out to all y'all. Is this over? He ain't suspect number 4 no more, huh? So, you know, they got the bull, you know, Eddie girl talking about what Wack wanting to talk about. We know that. Got him talking about what Wack wanting to talk about. And this is what they doing. They pushing narratives. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying it's the facts right here. It's the facts. It's the police report. It's facts. You can try to make up whatever you want. You can try to assume whatever you want. I'm reading this all black and white. This is black and white. I'm just keeping it a buck. This is black and white. You better understand. That boy ain't right. I'm just trying to tell y'all, man. Hey, listen. The boy ain't right. He ain't right. No. You better know it. Viral video evidence. Viral video evidence. The video is out there. That's a fact. They done downloaded the video, right? Straight from Twitter. Just keeping it a buck. They done download the video straight from Twitter. And it's in their files. They got it in the files. Yeah. I'm just keeping it a buck. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. Y'all know what it is. Smash that like button and hit that subscribe button. You know, y'all see what it is. So, let's read this here. Reed mentioned there was a viral video of the incident posted on social media, which had been recorded by an unknown person who was present at the location. Officer Cardwell and I were able to find the video on social media platform X. The video is about 3 minutes and 22 seconds long, and it shows majority of the incident, to include the assault and robbery of Jay Reed, as well as the assault and robbery of Marciano. I downloaded the video and uploaded it to evidence.com. The following is a summary of what unfolds on the video. Now, this right here is in evidence already. It's been 16 months. And suspect number 4 goes back to the crime scene every single week. He ain't worried in the world. Okay. The video starts with Reed standing in the breezeway with Jones and Williams near the northeast entry exit, a no jumper. Williams is wearing a forward-facing black hat, gray hooded sweat, dark pants, and white shoes, and was identified by Reed in the video. Jones is wearing a light color hooded sweater and dark pants with a satchel slung across his back. There are approximately 15 other people standing in various locations throughout the breezeway. Reed appears to be engaged in normal conversation with Jones and Williams for approximately 28 seconds before Williams suddenly strikes Reed in the face using his left hand. Reed then falls to the ground and lands on his left side of his body. Williams then continues to strike Reed with alternating hands as he stands over Reed while he is lying on the ground. As Reed attempts to stand back up, Williams wraps his arm around Reed and tosses him back to the ground on the concrete. Williams then reaches his right hand towards his waistband, front hooded jacket pocket area, and retrieves what's to be a strap, a pistol, while holding Reed on the ground by his neck head using his left hand. After Williams retrieved the strap, Williams pointed the strap towards Reed for several seconds while holding him on the ground with his left hand. At one point, Williams pointed the strap directly at the back of Reed's head, approximately 12 inches, and only removed his aim when someone shouts, "No, no, 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 loose, loose, don't do that." You know who that was. We know who that was. Wicked 100. That was Wicked 100. Oh, yeah. We know. Williams looks up towards the person, recording as if to acknowledge the plea, and it's only at that point William points the strap away from the back of Reed's head. Reed moves backwards toward the northern wall while Williams maintains hold of him and attempts to stand up, utilizing the wall to assist him. Williams then trips Reed using a leg sweep with his left leg before the video then moves over to Marciano being battered. Huh? Oh, yeah. Y'all see what it is. Just keep it in the buck. Let's just keep it a buck. Niggas reading paperwork. This the paperwork. Suspect number 4. Huh? I'm just keeping it a buck. When the video moves back to Reed, another suspect hereafter refers to as Sus 1 is facing Reed and holding him while shoving him backwards toward the wall. As he does so, William uses his left leg to strike the back of Reed's leg, causing him to fall to the ground and land on his back while Suspect number 1 maintained hold of Reed's clothing. Suspect number 1 then stands over Reed, pins him to the ground using both of his hands as Reed attempts to stand up before then striking Reed in the back of the head multiple times with his right hand. We were unable to determine the exact number of strikes due to the camera panning back and forth. So the camera person, whoever it was, we know who Wack got with him all the time, right? Was going back and forth with the camera, recording this shit now. Huh? Just keeping it a buck. The video pans over Marciano again briefly before focusing back on Reed again. Straight up. Just keeping it a buck. Suspect number 1 appears to be attempting to remove items from Reed's persons before Williams walked briskly back toward Reed while yelling, "Take it off! N-I-G-G-A, take it off!" Huh? Williams then leans down towards Reed as he was lying on the ground while simultaneously raising his right arm over his head while holding the strap, and proceeds to strike Reed in the back of the head while the strap twice, as suspect 1 also strikes Reed repeatedly in the face and head with his right hand. It's getting sticky. They out there doing the do. Suspect number 4 right there the whole time. Straight up. Immediately after, an additional suspect, hereafter refers to as suspect number 2, walks up to Reed and strikes him approximately 5 times in the face using his right hand and kicks him directly in the face once with his right foot. As suspect number 2 is striking Reed, suspect number 1 can be seen removing items from Reed's person, also removing Reed's shirt from his body before tossing it away. Reed is eventually able to stand up momentarily before suspect number 1 grabs him by the throat with his left hand and holds Reed against the wall. Suspect number 1 then shoves Reed away and he stumbles towards the wall at No Jumper, obviously dazed and injured as a result of the incident. Reed begins to walk towards the exit of the driveway towards the street when suspect 2 approaches Reed and strikes him in the face again using his right hand. Reed continues his attempt to flee as he stumbles his way towards his right hand. Reed continues his attempt to flee as he stumbles his way towards the driveway before suspect number 2 throws a final strike at Reed but misses and hits the chain link fence. Reed finally reaches the end of the driveway and runs northbound on Ontario Street out of sight. Reed took off running. Additional suspects description. Suspect 1 is described as a black male, approximately 30 to 35 years with short curly black hair. A full thin beard, wearing a white and blue sweater and dark pants. Suspect 1 is described as a black male, approximately 25-35 with dreadlocks. Style hair along with the center of his head shade, wearing a red hooded sweater, blue shorts and a red and white shoes. Related, Burbank police calls for service. It should be noted that a call for service was generated related to the incident on the night of December 26, 2024 at approximately 19:37 hours. When a reporting party called from No Jumper after a subject approached the business and stated he was assaulted in a parking lot, the suspect was described as a black male, about 35 years old and approximately 5'10" tall. The male was shirtless and wearing dark colored pants. He entered a medium gray and light brown older model Chevrolet Blazer and drove southbound on Ontario at a high rate of speed before possibly turning westbound on Thornton Ave. When officers arrived at the scene, they were unable to locate males or the vehicle. Follow up the crime scene. Sergeant Snowden and Officer Lindquist, Caldwell Adams, and I drove to No Jumper to examine the scene of the crime and canvass the area for potential evidence cameras, right? Let me see here. Let's go. Okay, No Jumper is a studio building in a commercial area with perpendicular parking lot stalls on the southern side of front entrance of the parallel disabled parking stall on the north side of the front entrance. Behind the disabled parking stall is a breezeway that connects to the next building north of the building address. There is a fence line gate with the barbed wire on top of the closed off breezeway access. The building directly north has a garage door with two yellow posts approximately center of the breezeway that is seen in the video of the crime itself. There are additional parking stalls in the end of the breezeway that closes off the adjacent property. Upon arrival at the crime scene, we located the breezeway that appeared in the video. We canvassed the breezeway and found multiple locations with blood splattered, which matched the area where Reed was assaulted in the video. We observed blood on the northeast wall, ground of the breezeway, as well as the garage door at No Jumper. There were additional blood located in the entire route of Reed's escape, where he stumbled away. On the southwest wall and a window breezeway until the point he reached the sidewalk was located on camera. Southeast wall breezeway connected to No Jumper. At the scene, we located a razor blade among the blood splatter where Reed was seen lying on the ground for majority of the video, as well as a used cigarette butt and a piece of a joint near the wall of No Jumper. I collected both of these items using black nitrile gloves and placed them in the individual brown paper bag and sealed them as evidence tape. I later booked the above items in the evidence. I took pictures of the scene, and Officer Caldwell took a video walking through the crime scene from the front and rear location. I later uploaded the picture to the video to evidence.com. Now, they got all of the evidence in detail. They got all of it. They took pictures, video, collected butts. They got DNA, all this shit. They know everything. It's been 16 months. And ain't nobody been charged. Tell me suspect number 4 ain't with him. Come on now. But he say he ain't had nothing to do with it. Yeah. And I guess he ain't suspect number 4. It's only 3 suspects now. More now. Officer Caldwell discovered a social media video on YouTube, which was posted by Williams on one of his official page, Sharice and Loose Cannon, labeled as "The Truth of What Happened at No Jumpers with Me and Whack 100 emoji footage exposed." The video is 7 minutes and 12 seconds long, and in the video, Williams refers to the incident with Reed and posts a short clip at the end of the portion of it, confirming he is speaking about the incident. The following are some transcripts from the video. Straight up. Listen, I know y'all think about the footage that's going around and what happened at No Jumper. Y'all have to understand this, right? I don't run fake plays. I don't run imaginary content that y'all be thinking. That's somebody gonna just run and try to set somebody up and some pay. Somebody take a whooping. It don't work like that with me. I'm raw. I'm authentic. I'm real. And I'm sometimes too real. I see when y'all be clout chasing and acting like y'all really want a problem. I'ma give it to you. We know that's loose cannon. So let's go from the beginning. We doing the Adam and Wack show. Adam is leaving the building. Adam FaceTime Wack. Hey Wack, there's two people that you know wandering around the parking lot. You know who they are? Wack like, no, I don't know who they are. So I'm like, oh, I don't know, but let me go out and holler at him. So I walked out, right? And I walked out with the dude and he was like, man, I got a problem with Wack. And I'm like, you got a problem with Wack? Bro, I told you, I was big useless enforcer. I kept him safe. I kept a lot of people safe on the dead homies. Like, I'm not going. I don't seem like I'm the toughest. Y'all be saying like he don't. Look like a goon, but what a goon look like? Because I stand on everything I say, because I'm not a marshmallow, sugar plum, soft sugar cookie, mayonnaise, yogurt, cottage cheese sauce. This is what they are. They are Hawaiian roll sauce. I'm going to show y'all a little clip, but y'all have to really understand I can't show you everything because everything is not meant to show. But it shows you enough to let y'all understand. Keep playing with me. Keep playing with Wack. Keep playing with 600. Listen, we don't play around here. We move militant. We don't move like how y'all move. What you think? Oh, you gonna have 5, 10 people? No, I'm gonna have 30, 40, 50 at all times. You want the head up fade? I'ma get that to you. I love to fight. I'ma give you the head up fade after I knock you out. Then don't be mad when the homies pounce. When we see, we gonna pounce. So why y'all get mad? This is an example of stop clout chasing. This is not what you want. I can't help if I'm the realest in LA. On the West Coast, I can't help that I can't help it. What I say and what I preach is real. It could have went a lot worse, but it didn't. So, suspect identification, Williams. Utilizing department's resources, Officer Caldwell identified Williams has multiple outstanding warrants for his arrest out of Riverside County for felony in possession of a strap and felony domestic violence, as well as Orange County for grand theft auto. Criminal history. A record reveals Williams is a convicted felon and has a lengthy criminal history in multiple states: California, Colorado, Illinois, Indiana, and Nevada. To include numerous arrests and convictions for robbery, felony in possession of a strap, exhibiting a strap, grand theft, domestic battery by strangulation, coercion with force or threat of force, felony domestic violence, burglary, grand theft auto, identity theft, forgery, receiving stolen property, violation of domestic violence, restraining order, and obstruction a public officer. Williams' most recent felony conviction are out of CASC Riverside on June 2nd, 2022 for felony possession of a strap and felony domestic violence. We know that was involving Gigi. Investigation concludes attempt homicide. You hear me? The investigation concludes attempt homicide. The bull whack 100, Wicked 100, is named suspect number 4. Now they said it now. I'm just reading what the work say, right? This what the work say. The work say Wicked 100 is suspect number 4, right? This what the work say. In the conclusion of their investigation, which this investigation was complete the beginning of last year. It's been 16 months. Nobody been charged. This will let you know, right? Wicked 100 is working with them folks. And he was assigned to get loose cannon. Big U. He was assigned. Understanding this shit, man. I'm just keeping it a buck. You hear me? Now, we sit here and see this, right? Williams took at least one direct but ineffective step towards unaliving another person, Reed. And Williams intended to unalive the person, Reed. Investigation conclusion, robbery. Based on the totality of the investigation, to include the following, I determined that Williams, suspect 1 and suspect 2, were in violation of 211 PC. The suspect took property and were not their own. The property was in possession of another person. The property was taken from another person. The property was taken against a person's will. The suspects used force or fear to take personal property or to prevent a person from resisting. When the suspects used force or fear, they intended to deprive Reed of the property, permanently to remove the property from Reed in possession for extended a period of time, that Reed would be deprived of majority portion of the value or enjoyment of the property. Y'all see this? End of the hard copy. Y'all see this, right? Now, suspect number 4. It's the guy that say he got to work on everybody. Y'all know, this is the guy that tell everybody he got to work. And I got to work. Yeah, the work right here. I'm just saying, do y'all see that? This is work. What do you mean? It's paperwork. Suspect number 4 ain't worried about nothing at all. You hear me?